Alright, so I've been hearing a lot about people not being able to draw feet, so it is time for us to learn. Now, essentially, you can break the foot into three different forms. So we're going to start with right in the middle, the part that makes up the most of the foot, and it's going to be kind of like this ramp type of form. And so whenever we are drawing the foot, we're going to start by adding these basic forms first, and then sketching out the contour line, the outline, and then doing the shading. The toes are kind of like semicircle 3D form, and then the heel is also like a semicircle 3D form, just facing the opposite way. So almost like a cylinder cut in half for both of those. Now, whenever we do gesture drawing, remember we do circles for the joints. So let's go ahead and put a circle for the ankle joint and a line for the leg. And what we're going to do differently here is add a circle for the heel. So we always remember to round out around that heel. And that's going to be what we start with as our base for all our foot drawings in this video. So let's start with this foot here on the left. And I'm going to do the line for the leg and the circle for the ankle and circle for the heel, and then do those forms that we talked about. This foot is curved downward, so I'm going to have my little ramp going downward. And my toes will be facing pretty flat. They're from the ball of the toe, the ball of the foot, it's going flat outward. Now it's time for us to do some outlining, and this is with our kind of contour line. So we're paying attention to the edge of the edge of the shape that we're looking at, in this case the foot, and really trying to follow every curve. So on the ball of the foot, we've got a little curve, and then it dips upward, and then there's the toe, the big toe, that it's going to curve out around. And I needed to make, I think my toe is just a little bit longer. But after you get that outline, you can go ahead and erase all the sketching we did to begin with. We will come back to the shading, but for now I want us to practice this. So let's jump into our next pair of feet. This one is facing directly toward us. So once again, I'm going to start with my leg, my ankle, my heel, and my ramp is going to be coming toward us, so it's going to be more like a triangle. It's going to get fatter as it gets closer to us as the viewer, and then our toes, of course, round out there at the bottom, somewhat closer to us, as the middle toes are somewhat closer to us, and the pinky toe kind of goes away. And we want to do this for both feet, so make sure you are drawing both feet. The next thing we need to talk about is the ankle bones, and this is something you're going to have to think about on every pair of feet that you do, or foot that you do, but it is most easily shown from the forward angle. So on here, I've drawn a line angling down, so it's higher on the inside of the foot and lower on the outside of the foot. And this is going through the ankle, and it's going to help to point out where we need to bump for the bones. We've got a bone on the inside of our ankles and a bone on the outside. And the one on the outside is a little bit lower than the one on the inside. So that angled line can help you figure out where to put those little bumps for those bones. Once you finish that, you can do the rest of the contour lines for the remaining portion of the foot. On the toes, I'm working pretty small, so it's kind of hard to get the details, but just try to pay attention to the kind of rounded, bulbous part at the end of the toes, because that helps you with where the sphere is, as well as where the top of the toenail is. Those toenails can kind of help guide you on where to place those toes as well. And then once again, we will do the shading later on, so don't worry about that for now. So after this pair of feet, I've got a few more feet images that I want you guys to draw along with me, just to practice using this technique on getting the correct shape. And then I'm going to jump into shading. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about the shading while I'm doing it, because I think by now you guys are at a point where you can kind of start to look at an image and see where the shadows are and where the highlights are. And you can always slow down the YouTube video speed if you would like to watch me do it slower, but I will have it sped up so that the video is not 40 minutes long. But go ahead and draw along with me for the remainder of the video and let me know if you have any questions.